You need to do this before Bungie patch it. Hey there humans, Bob here with a quick cheeky little trick that will help you get some high stat armor with some fantastic stat spikes, and the great news is, it's super easy to do. But before we get into it, if you consider hitting the like button right now, I'd really appreciate it. But if the video doesn't meet your standards later on, then you could just turn it into a dislike. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, so recently seasonal armor focusing has been mostly ignored by most players, but if you have either some leftover engrams from the previous season or you've earned yourself a nice little chunk from the current one, you'll want to start paying attention to it. So, how do we do this? Well, first off, there's a little bit of setup to do. It's pretty straightforward, but pretty important to the process. First, open up the mods menu for your Ghost Shell, and what you're going to want to do is enable an armour mod. What this will allow you to do is when you complete the next step is to force the armour stats to spike on the stat that you choose here. Whilst you're welcome to choose any stat that you like, you may like to know that the best one to choose is Discipline, the stat that governs grenade ability regen. The reason you want to do this is twofold. Number one, most builds will benefit from grenade regen. This is definitely a stat that you want to bump up. Probably the second most important behind resilience. So, why not have the resilience armor mod, you ask? Let me explain. Basically, Destiny's stats are split out into two groups. The top three stats, mobility, resilience, and recovery, and the bottom three stats, discipline, intellect, and strength. And whatever stat you target with the armor mods will be the one that the game spikes out of that group. So by selecting discipline, you effectively lower your chances of having your stats distributed into intellect and strength, but still allow any combination of the first three stats to spike as well, which is fantastic as generally speaking, resilience, recovery and discipline are the best stats to focus on. Now we've covered setup, all you're going to want to do is open up your destinations and head to the helm. Once there, head to the appropriate vendor station for the engrams that you have. Go to the Focusing and Upgrades tab and select Engram Decoding, then head down to the bottom of the page to Armor Focusing and select the piece of armor that you want to target. It will usually take 2 engrams and around 2000 glimmer per decoding for this method, but if all your armor is pretty terrible and you're not bothered which slot of armor that you're focusing, just select the engram at the start for a random roll for half the price of the targeted one. Once you've done this, check your new gear and you should see the stat that you chose with the armor mod has spiked, generally around the 25 plus area, along with one, or if you're really lucky, 2 other stats at a really high level. I've already farmed a ton of armor that has reached up to a total stat count of 90 once masterworked, which has really allowed me to up my game in general. Hopefully, it'll allow you to do the same too. As well as this, if you want to boost your damage even more, there's another little trick in this next video. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.